Well, that makes me happy. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And I'm happy that you're here too. So we're going to continue on with our hashtag Masculine May. You know, because we're making stuff for Father's Day. Comes up in June here in the US of A. And we're going to do some distress oxide smooshing. And I will tell you up front, this project took me a couple of days because I didn't have any laser printable transparency film. So the Amazons had to bring that real quick overnight like. Anyways, I'm using 3 different sets of 3 different colors of the distress oxides. They are all, along with other ingredients, are listed below. I'm just using regular Plano, average cardstock. I've trimmed down to sort of fit-ish. The die, the metal dies cut things I'm going to be using later. So just smooshing those around, and I will use heat gun off and on, y'all, so I can dry it. And I also let them dry overnight. You know, the oxidation shows up once it's dry, but it kind of, for me, in my opinion, okay, it sort of gets more oxidized after it's set for a while. And by a while, I just basically mean overnight. Okay? Hey, can y'all. So, because the distress oxide reacts with water that brings about the oxidation process, you don't want to get your ink pads wet. Guys, seriously, people, you don't. I know you see people putting water on their distress oxide ink pads and, you know, stamping it and then spraying it like I'm doing here, smooshing it with the water and all that kind of stuff, and then reapplying, tamping their oxide pad back on there. It's still wet, y'all. So be drying it between your smooshings. All right, just saying. I am doing front and backs because we are making slides, or specimen slides. Yeah, oh my gosh, words, people, they are so hard. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, smooshing this for a long time. How long did I do it? I don't know. 30 minutes or so. I don't know. And I'm really happy with how it all came out, y'all. Just, I know I already said that once, but I'm saying it again because it's still true. And portions of the video are sped up. Some portions are more sped up. Hyperdrive even. And that thing that I'm using right there, instead of using my finger, which you can, I'm not opposed to getting inky, because as you'll see, my left hand gets pretty toasty. Anyway, I just found that it was nice. Oh, he can, yeah. For squishing around the colors so that you don't have any technically sharp line looking spots. Okay. And it's about the size of a finger, so it's working about the same, I think, in my opinion. You know how that goes. We all have at least one. And some of them come out more speckledy than others. And I thought, to put my photo slides in, I want a box. So I thought I had a Crayola type box template. I couldn't find it. So I searched for one online and found one on Pinterest. It was for 8 Crayolas. I need one bigger than that. And so I got the next size up, which I guess is probably like a 24 box size. and got that, and that ended up being too big for, by what I mean, it's too deep, not too tall, not too wide, too deep. Anyway, so I fiddle farted around, and I do mean fiddle farted around with that for probably darn near an hour. All right, because I had to print out the first one, cut it out, put it together, and then I'm like, nope, wrong size. Find another one, print it out, cut it out, put it together, tried it in the container I'm going to end up putting stuff in, and altered from there a couple times. Okay, so I know this is, if you're here to learn how to make this box, you might be struggling as much as I did. All right, so there are lots of places that are straight, so I'm using my, my trimmer for that. And there will be scoring involved. Oh, and that the notch punch like you have on the envelope punch board, I found one of those at Hobby Lobby. It came with a scoreboard. Hobby Lobby brand. Anyway, so I got the little notch punch and a beneficial, handy dandy, easier to put on my desk scoreboard. So I'm scoring my lines. This is a correct size template for my purpose. And yeah, it's almost real time. I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, what is that measurement over here? It's like, yeah, is that what I got over here? So I can score these little lines here. And y'all, if you could find a template that is actual size you want, that's the best options for you. There were also some cases of SVG files. I don't have one of them kind of cutters, so yeah. And I will end up using some of those scraps as well. I miscut that a little bit, but I determined it would probably be okay. More about this box momentarily, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, that kind of momentarily. And I keep putting my template back up there, checking to see where I need to do this and score that. And one of the templates that I first downloaded did not have the little side flap that folds over to connect the box all the way around, nor did the top flap, where you pull the little flap over and close it into your box. That wasn't on there either. Okay, so it's kind of hit and miss on some of those things. So don't expect necessarily, you might get lucky. You might get lucky and get one that's just perfect. But don't go making it out of your fancy prized cardstock until you've made a sample. Okay? Because in a minute we're going to start gluing. And as you can see, I'm wedging the edges a little bit so that they will ease over and fold over into each other without bulking up the corner. Okay, I'm like, yeah, I want to cut this corner out because that's my little flap that's going to come over and close the box up. And I forgot to put a score line. So we're going to do that right there. Just like it fit with Shake and Bake. Don't worry, we will erase the pencil lines. And we will decorate this minimally. Okay? Y'all will recognize the pattern when you see it. Probably. Anyway, I'm being so careful. And believe it or not, this is split up, teeny tiny bit. Okay? I'm like, yeah, I got all my score lines, got all that. Let's pick this up super quick and let's erase our pencil lines. Essentially, this is going to be inside the box, so the pencil lines wouldn't necessarily be that visible anyway. Just saying. So, I believe normally the box itself is about an inch thick in depth on the sides. And I needed mine just a little bit more narrow. 3/4 of an inch? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway. So we're just going to fold over and use bone folder to make the creases more butter. It's not a real bone. Been a minute since y'all heard that, right? That one I didn't quite get scored right, but we will come back and fiddle with that again. Like a lot of the rest of it. I'm like, oh, here, put a score there. That's our box lid, y'all. The one that folds over and tucks in. Anyway. Just doing all that. Yep. Almost live speed. Live enough to be thought, girl, it sure is taking you a minute. It does. It takes a minute. Okay. And this was done over a couple day period. I already said that, right? Right. So I want to fold it so that my 2 side flaps are underneath the inside flap and between the outside flap. That's just what I thought would work for me better. And I'm like, oh, I misscored, so let me pencil line that. And see, this is why this little scoreboard's handy, because it's just like right there. It's not in the way of anything else so far. So just put another little score line right there. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so, it doesn't. So I'm just going to try to unscore that other one just a little bit. And it works if you go back over it in opposite direction. It helps. Anyway, that one flap I could have cut off, but I'm going to fold it in so that it will reinforce the opening part there of the box. And we are going to use that handy dandy unbranded stencil. It's called a stencil, y'all. Like we've done on our previous match boxes for our other projects that we've already done this month. Hashtag masculine May. Anyway, just doing that. And when you're using the makeup brushes to smoosh your ink or other stuff around, you want to hold it up there by the brush top and not necessarily the handle, because those handles will break. Okay, just saying. And we're just doing that along. We've sped it up and cut out a few little spots because there's a lot of repeating going on here, y'all. So now, we're going to glue that down so that reinforces the front where we'll be reaching in and out of our box. Okay. And we'll use our glitter glue because it was handy and it was right there. Okay. I'm not going to Ellie Mae it. I'm just putting it over there and smooshing it down, and it is fine. So now we're going to fold up, get these kind of wiggled around the way I want them. So I want it glued to that so that I'm actually sandwiching those little tabs between the front and back box part. Okay? Is it necessary? Oh my gosh, words again, people. No, but that's just what I chose to do. And as I was folding it, because I didn't stop to consider that I had angle cut my edges, I'm butting my edges up. Don't butt your edges up. Square them up, y'all. We did the angle cuts, and apparently I was like, oh no, this is where I found out. Fixing to find out. See, I'm trying to line it up, and I'm like, it's not lining up. Why is it not lining? Oh, because I butted the edges up instead of making them square. When you angle cut so that you can ease in, you got to be careful about that. I actually remake the box, but I don't show you me making the second box. It's the same one, same way, only instead of making those edges all, you know, jacked up, they're more butter. And here I'm still fighting with it because I'm thinking, well, you know, I can still use it. And my lid won't close. See how nice and twisted it is? Yeah. Be careful when you're doing that, okay? So, because my slides are actually not as long, as tall as the box. Yeah, I could have cut it down when I was making it, but by this time I'm tired of making templates and trying on boxes. So I was going to use my little punch there, and it's too thick. I just couldn't make it punch through 2 layers of cardstock. It weren't happy about it, y'all. So I went ahead and got my little circle punch there, and we're going to use that instead, and it works just fine. It's probably better anyway. Just saying. So we're doing that. Is this the twisted? No, this is the better box. Okay, that's the more butter box. Anyway, because I don't want my slides falling all the way in, I made a little platform like that goes down inside the box. Okay, now we're just going to ink around the box, make it all nice and prettier with our scorched timber. Beautiful favorite color. And here's our slides. I have 2 different sizes. And one's a Creative Expressions die, the larger one, and the other one is from a Sizzix. Okay. I don't bore you showing you every single one of them because I made a lot. And then I printed out some pictures. I just went through some pictures on my phone. I'm like, yeah, I like that one, that one, that one, and printed them out, and I sized them down, you know, basically to about the size of the slide opening. And now I'm trimming them out. And, yeah, that's what we're doing. And that piece of white paper there is the paper that comes between the transparencies so that they don't scrabble on each other. Do not run it through your printer when you're printing your transparency. I didn't do that, but I read a review, and somebody in one of the reviews said they had done that and jacked up their printer because it got all wedged in there. Anyway, so now I'm trying on the different slides. Excuse me. Remember, I have 2 different sizes. I have a larger and a smaller, and I have 3 different color sets going on. So could I have made more? Absolutely, but I didn't. And some of these are some of my favorite pictures. Now, I could have put them all in black and white, and that would have been just fine too, I think. But I left them in color because that's what I chose to do. And excuse me. And now I'm having throat things. There was a lot of smoke in the air the last few days. Feels like a month already. Anyway, now I'm sizing them down to fit in the opening, but leave me with enough area to use some double-sided tape. In this case of gluing, sticking, adhering plastic to not plastic, or plastic to plastic even, I choose to use double-sided tape. Fortunate for me, I had just picked up a new roll of this 1/8 inch wide stuff. Okay? I mean, I'm like, because I ran out of that one, and I was like, well, that was a perfect choice to buy it the other day, whenever the other day was. And see, because they're transparencies, you can see them on the outside and you can see them on the inside. They're just mirrored image, right? Okay. One side after you print on it is where it prints, it's no longer shiny, but the other side is. Okay. I thought to maybe try to put some gloss varnish on there so both sides would be shiny the same, but I didn't try it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. And we do this for a long time. Some of them have to size smaller, and some of them are, some of them aren't, because you're just sizing them to fit. And I like that. I'm pretty happy with it. The part when you die cut these, you get a little part that cuts out from the window. I kept those, and we're going to make pockets out of those, although you don't see that part because somebody didn't turn the camera on. I don't know who that somebody was, but they didn't turn it on. So anyway, we got all that. Now we're going to decorate the fronts a little bit. Basically just the front. I'm going to put the pocket inside, and I decided I would stamp the dates on the little pocket thingy for when the picture was taken. Okay? Because that still shows up on my camera on most of the pictures. A couple of them I fudged around on the date. I'm probably close. But they're not the same years. They are not the same places neither. So I have these washi tape postage stamps I got from the Amazons. I don't have a link, just, washi tape postage stickers. All right? And so we put that on some of them. I got out several, but I only used a few. And then we're using those tiny, I'm going to say snippets because I don't remember the actual name of those, but it's just Tim Holtz ephemera. Okay? And I kind of match them around, going with some of what the colors on the photograph itself. And I'm just making the best of it, y'all. And I will ink around all these little bits too. And you will get to see a brief momentarily inking. Maybe it's momentarily. Maybe it's 20 minutes. Anyway. And yes, the only people in these is me and my hubby. And our 2 doggages. We love our babies. No other family members are in these. You do whatever photographs you want to do. I could have just went with landscapes. Okay? But I know my husband. I know what he would most appreciate. Pictures of me. Us, that kind of thing. Anyway, just gluing stuff on there, inked around it all already. I don't remember, did we see that part or not? I might have cut it out. I don't remember. I wasn't even looking. I looked away and looked out the door so I could see if it was still smoky outside. That one was too big, so I just cut it off because I could still use that other little part somewhere. Okay. So there we go. And we just do that for all of them. I do not show you all of them because it's a lot of the same wash, rinse, repeat. Okay. If I remember, I will list in the description the little timeline so that you could jump from section to section, should you so desire to do so. Hopefully I remember to do that. Sometimes I say I'm going to do something, but I don't always remember to do it. Okay. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more, and then I think that's about it. Really happy with the color combinations I chose on the oxide inks. And I believe when I listed them in the ingredients, I put the 3 colors, and then the next 3 colors was the next set, and so on. Why did I go with 3? Because it's like my favorite number. Oh, we're going to hurry up. Because sometimes y'all like to see me arranging stuff. That's what it was. I'm like, yeah, we're just going to fastly, it's sped up, hyper even, so that we can just kind of see how I just kind of pick them out. I don't know. Has some of those washi stamps. Of course, they were way too big, so we trimmed them out and made them work the way we wanted them to use, because we bought them. We can do that. We can alter that, but you do that at your own risk. Okay? Okay. So we're going to pull out things for these two. And I'm almost laying them out the same. Sometimes it's just easier to kind of get a step 1 is a big piece over here. Step 2 is a smaller piece over here. Step 3 is a round one. Or whatever it is you choose to do. You know, you get your own little recipe going. And, you know, sometimes I didn't read the labels because I didn't want to necessarily be distracted on what the little labels and different things said. So, yeah, that. And we just keep doing it. That is one of the first photographs I have of Champ and Molly together. They were little puppies. They weren't tiny puppies, because they weren't tiny when we got them when we rescued them. They rescued babies. Champ was literally rescued from a gas station, and Molly was from the local shelter. Oh, here, flip-flop, y'all. See how our little cards fit in there? Because I put the little steps in there. So I made a little card, and, you know, so that you can stick it behind the picture so you can see it more better. And here we go. We're just going to flip-flop. I don't flip-flop all of them, but see, when you put the white card behind there, it's like, oh, it's magic. See, October 14th. My babies are 10 years old. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, just doing that. I'm going to show you a bunch of them, you know. Like I said, it's just silliness, y'all. Just silliness. All right. That was at the Pawquaw, Arkansas Hot Springs. And there we go. Ta-da! Photo montage. If you're going to do anything like this, please take into consideration the person you're making these for. Do they like photographs of places or people? Or, you know, what? Yeah, I'm so happy with this. See, can you see the oxidation on there? It actually develops a little more over time. Well, it's through developing now, but overnight. Okay? I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all.